And I'll just
Okay.
take a few
So,
photos. Chill, it's all right. You've said it a million times before.
I have, yes. Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. Konnichiwa, minasan. Thank you for coming. As you know, my son was taken to Japan by his mother 2.5 years ago, on the 10th of May 2010, and has not been seen or heard of since. So therefore is missing and unaccounted for. Over the last 2.5 years, I've experienced many difficulties and obstructions as I search for my son Sean. The difficulties relate to Japan's appalling attitude to and the arrogance when dealing with parental child abduction. Unfortunately, I also found that Australia's policies, procedures and position when dealing with its own cases of international parental child abduction are far from adequate and simply unacceptable. It's for this reason that I've written this petition, collecting signatures, riding my bike 300 kilometres to our nation's capital to deliver it at Parliament House. It is an unacceptable situation when an Australian child goes missing and is unaccounted for in another country. Just to begin with, it is more so unacceptable when the government that protects you offers no assistance and in fact hinders your efforts to confirm the most basic of human rights, to confirm that your own child's location, safety and welfare. I therefore ask our government to demand of the Japanese government to confirm the location, safety and welfare of my son Sean Jukia Wass. I also ask the Australian government to improve our own policies and procedures and begin the process for bilateral agreements to reconnect Australian families with their children. I've continually been told the Australian government is committed to doing everything it can to ensure the return to Australia of Australian who has returned to Australia. I'll start that one again. The Australian government is committed to doing everything it can to ensure the return to Australia of children who are wrongfully removed and retained in another country. I ask the Australian government to consider trade sanctions on Japan. If trade sanctions are good enough for live exports, trade sanctions are good enough for my son and good enough for our families. I want to see our families made a priority over money. So in closing, Japan, sign the Hague Convention, stop child abduction, and Prime Minister Gillard, help me find my son. If anyone thinks this problem doesn't exist or disappear, tell them they're dreaming. Sean, we love you, we miss you, and we look forward to the day that we're reunited. I'd like to thank my mum, my dad, Tara, Aidan, Eleanor, family and friends for their support. I'd like to thank you, Mrs. Marcus, you, Ms. Bishop, for your support and assistance. It has been outstanding, and I look forward to the future change within Australia's policies and stance. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, and I just want to say that I'm delighted to have had this opportunity to meet with you. Louise Marcus has taken up your cause and she's raised it with me, and I understand how emotional and frustrating this must be for you when there is this kind of division between a mother and a father over a child. One has to remember that the child's interests are paramount, and most certainly we have researched the issue and understand that the new Prime Minister in Japan is keen to sign the Hague Convention, and we will make appropriate representations in that regard. Our relationship with Japan is strong. It is a long-standing relationship, and are considered to be one of our closest friends and allies in the region. Therefore, should we be in government at the end of this year or sometime earlier, we will do what we can to help you with this issue regarding your son. In the meantime, from opposition, we'll do what we can to press the government to make the appropriate inquiries and to see what more can be done to get clarification for you. And we thank the Wass family for being here today to bring the plight that you face to the attention of parliamentarians, and the plight that other parents have faced in Australia over time. We also look very closely at the laws to which you refer to ensure that we do all that we can to act in the best interest of the child in these circumstances.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, can I just acknowledge your love and passion for your son, and that you have decided, and I'm sure that that will be long-standing, not to give up, but to pursue every opportunity. I know that you've, apart from knocking on my door, you've knocked on many others, and I know that you've travelled to Japan, and whatever has been in your power, that you have endeavoured to fight and work to see your son. I know that your family, from Saturday to today, supported your ride from Blue Mountains to here because of your love as a family for Sean. And as you know, I have knocked on the Attorney General's door a number of times since you first came to me, and it took us some time to finally persuade powers to be to ensure that your son was on, for example, Interpol's Euro list. And I know that if it had been earlier, then we might have been able to see him sooner. But can I thank you, Julie, for being available today to meet with Sean, to meet with Daniel. I'm sure that Julie and myself, if we are given the opportunity to go in again, that we'll be looking very closely at whatever we can do to make it easier, not just for people like yourselves, but also for other families. And as Julie has already said, what is paramount in this whole story is Sean's best interests, and that would be knowing his father. So thank you for your love and your passion for your son.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
What happens with these?
Yes, I will take them, and they will be tabled.
Approximately 4,500 signatures of literally just about any single person I ever asked about my petition has got that signature. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just present these. Thank you very much for
That's
giving me
very
a bit of
beautiful,
time.
very unnecessary, but very kind.
Thank you for giving me a bit of time. I know you're busy.
Not
Thank you.
necessarily,
That's
it's
great.
very
It's lovely, that will
surprising.
you add to the
Surprising.
Oh, sorry.
decor of the office beautifully.
They put a card on there. I'm sorry, I haven't put anything in there. I didn't notice.
That's fine, that's lovely, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.